Hello, everyone. Before we get started, we have to pay the bills real quick. So, I would like to tell you about Anchor. Anchor is your free all in one podcast application. With Anchor, you have creation tools built in to record and edit your episodes straight from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple, and many other platforms. It even lets you monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now. We use it, and so can you. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome to Going 19, episode 27. Today we are finishing part 1 of The Witching Hour from Anne Rice called Coming Home, chapters 6 to 12. I'm Ed. With me are Allie and Amber. Let's start the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. Ooh, I got. You guys hear reverb? Or that's
I don't.
No.
Got fancy stuff going on now. My mini soundboard's doing all kind of weird stuff on its own.
My overall impression is definitely, I think this was a bit more interesting than the first part. Not that it didn't enjoy the first part, but it's just there's more. Now that you know more of the background, you're getting into more of the action part.
Yeah, it's the history stuff that fascinates me. It's just wait. So I can't talk about the file yet, and I really want to. But...
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not what I mean, because that's the opposite. That's more background.
Well, like with Michael, I don't know. Michael still annoys me. I don't like that guy.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we were talking about that at work.
I don't know if it's because it's a female writer, maybe trying to do a masculine thing. It just seems like a whiny bitch. I don't.
I mean,
every reaction is over the top with that guy.
Well, what do you mean?
He reacts demonstratively to every single little thing, I guess is what I mean.
No, yeah, I agree. Because either he has to be doing something with Rowan and falling in love with her, or drinking. And there was no mention of him being an alcoholic before. If there was, then that's part of the character. But at this point, I don't know.
Well, before what?
There for no reason.
Before what?
Before he died.
I don't know that he was before he died. I think he started drinking to kill the voices and the not the voices, but the images and stuff that he gets every time he catches something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I know what you are both saying, but I think that's just I think that's very believable. And I think that's what an alcoholic is too. They're not very dimensional.
Actually, yeah, maybe. I actually paid for a study guide for this because I didn't do any highlight, and I said, screw it, I'm just reading this thing to enjoy it. But then I was like, well, I don't know what to talk about.
So what are
Well, the analysis, there's a summary and analysis from 6 to 8, and then there's 9 to 12 ones. So I guess I don't know. It's a Kindle book. Can I share that with you guys? I don't even know. Am I allowed to do that? Or is Amazon going to be like, no, you can't do that? Because I have to go to space. All right, I guess we'll just start. Well, 6 starts with Michael. And this, I guess is 6 to 1 where Mayfair's getting ready to come and he's getting ready.
You mean Rowan? Oh yeah, Mayfair. That's what you said.
Rowan. I'm sorry. There's going to be a lot of Mayfairs. I shouldn't say Mayfair.
I gotta go back to the book. Oh, this is when they're still together, and he's talking about how he has to go.
Okay. Oh, so they've already done the boat thing. We already covered the boat thing?
Well, I think that's in this chapter. It's a long chapter.
Yeah, it was annoyingly long. I was like for me, it wasn't over till page 210. I was like, oh my god. I'm not a big fan of Mike. I'm not a big fan of Michael, and I think part of my problem is I know where this is going, and I can't say anything about it. So, part of the reason I don't like him is because of stuff that he hasn't done yet, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get that. That's always the world I live in.
Wait, so we don't like him, and then I'll dislike him even more because of things that he does later in the book? Oh, Joy.
Things that he doesn't do, I would say to that.
Oh.
And I don't want to talk too much about that. So yeah, he's an alcoholic. So this is the chapter where he goes on the thing.
Yeah, she picks him up and takes him back to her house after stopping for beer, of course, or before.
She arrives at Michael's house to take him to her boat. Aaron Lightner watches them leave. Oh, Aaron! They kept doing like the mysterious white-haired man. It's like, we get it. Like it's Aaron and he's watching them. Okay, you can stop like doing the cryptic references to the strange white-haired man.
I also got a sense of King when Michael says, but a sense of foreboding caught him suddenly. He had the distinct awareness, that free-floating telepathy, that he was never going to live in this house again. And I'm like,
somebody, when he leaves, that was very. That
reminds me of something Stephen King would say, like big foreshadowing.
Yep. Yeah. Somebody, somewhere in the chapters had I think she said something about a chambray work shirt. I'm like, oh, this is King. That thing will be blue.
Yeah. I think we all caught that one.
Oh, yeah. A parka and a blue chambray work shirt. I don't even know what a parka is other than a big heavy coat.
That's what it is.
Well, okay. So why don't you just say it's a winter coat? Like a main thing.
Parka is like a poncho, but weatherproof.
It's like if you're going to climb Mount Everest, you're wearing a parka, not a coat. So that's about all I can tell you. I don't know what the difference necessarily is. I guess it's water repellent.
It's a type of coat with a hood that's lined with fur or faux fur.
Oh, okay.
So it's like Sherpa.
So I think a lot of big coats are actually parkas, and we don't call them that.
Right. I think it's a main thing, calling it parka. Yeah. Well, I have plenty of Sherpa Alliance stuff, so maybe I have parkas and I didn't know it. All right. So they're going to the boat. Rowan has an agenda and Michael has an agenda, and I think Rowan is aware of Michael's agenda, but I don't think he knows that she has, I don't know how to say this. She has misgivings and she thinks she killed Graham, basically.
Well, she knows that he's been trying to contact her. I don't know that it's necessarily that she knows what he wants to do, because she only sees what is in the news about the visions and stuff. So I get the impression that she's like, oh, he wants to come out and touch the boat. Sure, bring him out here. I would love that,
Well, yeah, I think she was bring him out here because she believes in his power and she wants him to touch it to see if he can see if she killed Graham or if it was just a heart attack or whatever.
Right. So I guess that is that is kind of what you said.
So right. So now we can talk about that because I think the cat's out of the bag. Rowan apparently has the power of life and death, which is.
Well, we kind of had determined that last time.
Yeah.
I mean, without confirming, but. Yeah,
and I think. Did we start to talk about that? I think she's the reason Michael's alive. She was basically willed him back to life, and I think it came through whatever power she has. Because he was, as far as nobody even knows how long he was floating face down in the water when she got to him.
Well, I think it comes down to, is her power of diagnostic sense, is that just diagnostic, or is there some control of life also in it?
There's definitely control because she's given maybe people's heart explode or whatever.
That's not what I mean. How she can tell if someone is going to survive or not, and then that's why she chooses to save them. How much of that is her actually willing them back to life and not just sensing that they can survive?
I had that thought too. But I think it's a little bit of both. I think maybe she can touch them.
I got distracted by your swallowing.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know it was that loud.
Yeah, I was trying to just keep going, and my brain went right off the rails. Fuck. What was I saying? What the fuck were we talking about?
How did she kill, or did she save Michael by bringing him back to life, or did
I
she
think,
just
like,
save him?
Like, she has that diagnostic sense that they can live, so she chooses to save them. But is it only her that can save them because of,
Right.
what other hidden, I don't know what the word is, power, for lack of a better word, she has?
I think
So,
that's
like,
the perfect word.
she can touch them and feel that they're gonna live. But like, if Dr. What's his face, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
The guy with the fetuses. Wait, do we know
He
that?
wasn't a doctor. He was a scientist.
I think he was a research doctor.
Okay, well,
PhD or real doctor?
that's
That's a Homer Simpson. I think. Damn, I got distracted again. Too early in the morning. I'm out of practice on these podcasts.
But I agree with what you're saying. Like, if any other doctor had stepped in, would they still survive, or is it's her that's actually saving them?
I don't think we know, but I suspect that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like she's the only one that can make this happen, and I think I said that before, but Jesus Christ, how terrifying is that with a thought you can kill somebody? You know how many people would die on my way to work? My God.
Well, yeah, no, that's fair. I was like, I don't think it's that simple, but who knows, really?
It could be. I mean, I think she has to really want it. Well, no, I don't know, because Graham was a reaction. He just got mad and, like, bam. Here, take that, you son of a bitch. Because, well, I mean, he was a very awful person, as it turns out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure of the point in all that backstory being so awful, other than maybe that's why she's so secluded and just wants to be by herself all the time.
Which
but
is
as
so
well
sad that she got cut off from her entire family.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it, but as it turns out,
it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it turns out, there's no stopping that. That Lasher can go cross continent, apparently.
I know we're not there yet, but that Lasher scene was terrifying. When he shows up at her house, like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, I got chills.
I mean, I don't think we're going chronologically here. We're just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think she was kind of nonchalant about it. Oh, there's a guy out there. Check that out.
But she was not nonchalant. She was terrified.
Okay, then I'm remembering it differently.
And it was, I thought it was very well written, because it's like, it kind of is how I would feel if I saw a ghost, where you're like, is that real? That can't be real. How did they get there? What is happening? Who is this? Are they going to hurt me? And then, like, questioning it all next day, like think you're losing your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially from a female perspective, it's way more terrifying.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more options that I don't have to worry about necessarily.
Like, all of a sudden a man is looking inside at you and you're like, are you real? Are you a ghost? You literally just disappeared, so you're a ghost. Right. But there was heat where you touched the glass, so, like, physical things have heat, so I would be out of
now,
my
is that heat from him, or is that some kind of, like, I don't know how to say it, psychic energy transference because he's occupying matter when he's not supposed to be? Did I say that right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
either
way
like,
it would be from him.
Sometimes a ghost is. Say it again.
Either way, that means it's coming from it, but I think
that's a whole different conversation.
From him, I don't want to say him. It's not really a man, but from Lasher.
Well,
describe it as a him. I don't really know who Lasher is to this point, so I think it as a him.
Sorry, he's about to show up in the file. He, as far as I know, has always been masculine. But that's a good question. I wonder if he can, like, flip back and forth. I don't know
that is not what I was saying. I'm just saying it's an entity, not really a person.
Yeah, and that's going to become important.
Yeah.
But does he? I think, as far as we can tell, like he can barely manipulate matter. Like, because when people see him, they don't see. He doesn't like when Michael is just drunk in front of the freaking house when he gets to New Orleans and like falls
Runs
down
up there.
the street. Yeah, whatever that was. That was a weird scene. Because he always does the like I'm looking, he's looking at Lasher, but he's not. I see the man in his old time suit. There was no man. Like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah.
The way she just transitions out. Well, she doesn't transition. She's like, and I guess it's very abrupt, and maybe that's intentional because the character sees it as that abrupt. He's there, and then
it's very well done the way that she does that. Like, it's as if you're seeing a ghost. Like, it's like you're looking and then all of a sudden something's there and then it's not there. And then like, it's just, I think it's I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Like where you're just looking at the ground and all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, there's a pair of shoes there. There's like legs. There's a guy standing there. You're like, what the fuck?
That was interesting the way she did that. Like, hey, there's a pair of shoes. Hey, they're attached to legs. the legs go all the way up.
Yeah.
Well, and in terms of like, I feel like unreliable narrators have become a big trend in novels within the past couple of years, and just having read some of those and having read this, like I definitely feel like she writes an unreliable narrator really well.
Mean? Like they're not going to give anything away?
You're gonna have to explain unreliable narrator. I'm not sure what you mean.
So like, I don't know if y'all ever read like Gone Girl or the something about a train. But basically the narrator, like you're reading it from the narrator's point of view, but they're not even quite sure of what they've seen, and you don't know their motives on like trying to find out more information about it or whatever.
So it's not like an omniscient narrator, it's a very narrow perspective, and it's not necessarily correct.
Correct, right.
Yeah. In a way, it is kind of like opposite of a lot of Stephen King, because even though he doesn't give everything away, he is very, like, the narrator is very usually aware of everything.
Yeah.
He's so annoying with that.
I feel like Witching Hour is a combination of both, because like you get each character's point of view, but you also get somewhat of that omniscient narrator. Yeah. Stephen King definitely does omniscient, but I like how she does a deeper dive into her characters, but because of that, you never quite know what's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
At least I don't.
I think it is very intentionally confusing.
Yeah.
I wonder if she writes like King, or she doesn't know where she's going until she gets there, or does she have a plan? She almost had that plan for this one.
I was gonna say I haven't read the file yet, but I gotta say there's got to be some planning in there.
I feel like the file could have been off the top of her head, but I think when she wrote, the first word, she knew there was going to be a file coming.
Yeah.
But I think getting to the file, maybe there was some pre-planning, but the file itself could have been just, I don't know. It could have been, but then again, it integrates into a lot of the books, so maybe it couldn't have been. I don't know. Maybe she wrote it and then on the rewrite, she just tied it all together nice and tight.
With a history as detailed as the Mayfairs seem to be, though, I feel like there has to be some sort of pre-planning.
Right, I feel like she must have like a chart on the wall next to her desk, or she's like, like a family tree kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
I almost need that just to read it.
Yeah, I feel like if I started doing that, if you guys watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I feel like I would have that Pepe Silva board with all the ribbons and strings and stuff. Like,
I mean, yes, we do watch it. Amber watches it more than me. I'm from Philadelphia, so.
Well.
The summary says, she tells him what she remembers from his rescue. Michael touches her hand, sees a flash of Graham dying on the kitchen floor. Rowan tells Michael she wants him to use power for her. Michael goes out to the boat, learns nothing. She starts to cry, which leads to love me.
Wow.
Okay.
What? Summary.
Right? Rowan tells Michael her story about her
That is
loneliness.
not
and
at
her
all
single
how
story.
I would have described this section.
No, a matter of fact, I don't think crying had anything to do with it. She was like Rowan, you know, Michael's her stereotypical man that she likes. Besides the intellect part, like she likes the big brutish fireman guys.
Well,
So
she's the
she
guy
was
that
like,
she's
hey,
always dreamed of.
right,
Yeah.
and she's like, hey, we're gonna fuck. So if you got a problem with that, I'm telling you now.
He was like, I've got zero problems with that.
Right. And that's all I've been thinking about since the boat.
I was like, I wonder if it really is that simple sometimes. Like, you just meet someone and you're like, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, what do they say? Women know in the first 5 minutes whether it's going to happen or not. What they say?
No, I don't mean, but I mean mutually, where you just like look at each other and you're like, are you interested? I'm interested. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, actually, now that I say that, I'm like, that happens all the time.
Yeah, I've had that experience. I've given and received, and you know, it's. I guess
But it's just, I guess it's funny to see too. It's like, because there's such confident people who are so confident that they're interested in each other, so they don't really care if they're not. It's like no big deal, you know what I mean? But then they happen to be, so it's just like game on.
Yeah, like they're both alphas, so it's like, yeah, let's do this. Like,
Yeah.
enough with the small talk and the courtship.
There's no
and
courting.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. All right, just dive in, literally. And then I'm actually amazed that didn't derail his whole mission, because all he talked about, you know, was her and the people, and then he finally like got her, but then he's like, I'm still leaving. I was kind of surprised by that.
That doesn't surprise me, because I think it speaks to how strong his commitment is to this vision. Yeah, to this whatever, this quest.
What do we think of the people in the vision?
I think it's Deirdre.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't know if I thought that for other reasons. So yeah, when she starts talking about the black hair and the thing around her neck and something else. So what does Deirdre want from Michael?
I would imagine, if I had to guess, to save Rowan.
From what, last year?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was to save her at first, but then we find out that she died before he even gets down there, and I was like, oh, I was wrong. Never mind.
Do they say how she died? I don't think I picked that up anywhere. Maybe that's coming. It's just like, I don't even know why she was like an invalid. I don't understand any of that, honestly.
Well, I think that was all of the shock treatment and years of therapy of them.
Thorazine or whatever the hell they're giving her.
Yeah.
Being drugged. Yeah.
So why did they do that? To try to dampen Lasher, I guess?
I think so.
She was too wild running around with Rita Mae Lonigan?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that, like, she's not actually as bad as they think she is, but, like, they don't want her to have, like, she's too powerful, and they can't let her be in control of those powers.
Stella ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
Stella, what's her brother's name? Lionel, I think it was?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I always forget this is, like, Rowan is the fourth generation, because you have Stella, and then Anta, and then Deirdre, and then Rowan.
Well, yeah, she's way more than fourth.
Well, you know what I mean, from Stella.
Right. Stella's, great grandmother to Rowan, right?
Mm-hmm. Because Anta would be grandmother.
Yeah, Anta's like, I don't even know how to say that.
I'm just sticking with Anta.
She's like, barely exists. She just kind of skips over her all the time. And you hear about Stella, you hear about Deirdre, you hear about Rowan, obviously, but you don't hear much about Deirdre's mom. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, she had a kid, and now we moved on.
Her only purpose was to have Deirdre.
Is she the one that like jumped out the window or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was quote unquote jumped out the window.
Right. Well, yeah. She got lashered.
I totally forgot about, or didn't they think what Carlotta had something to do with it?
I thought
think Carlotta had something to do with Lionel shooting Stella, if I remember right.
Well, also that. Because remember, it seemed like she was pushed out of the window or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember whose perspective that came from. It might be.
I think that came from the doctor's point of view. Like
The doctor or the doctor with a name?
The Rita's husband.
Oh, Jerry?
Jerry?
Yes, yeah. Jerry.
He's
because his dad was the undertaker, but he would also do like the examination post-mortem. So he would see like, cause of death is skull fracture or whatever. But he said it from like the emerald was tangled in her hair in a way that shouldn't have if she just jumped.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember there was a few things, or like
I'm sure there'll be plenty
more
in the file about that.
It's a not a great family history.
Yeah.
No, but quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Lucky for us, they're all messed up.
It's also crazy that like he meets Michael. I mean, I know it's not a coincidence, but that they meet and that he finds out that she is like cut off from her family entirely, and then also finds out that the house he's going to see is that same house that she's been cut off from.
Yeah.
Yeah, the house he's dreaming about is ta-da! You own that house.
Right, that's her house.
Because she's even like, wait, is this house that you're talking about on First Street? And they're like, oh yeah, son of a bitch.
And how everybody in the town knows who she and her mom is, even though she said nothing about a name.
She didn't even, or so sorry about your mom. Like, I didn't tell you who the hell I was. That was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I guess there's not too many funerals going on that day. Maybe he figured it out that way.
I mean, I don't. Did I say a city? But like New Orleans is big, you know what I mean?
Well,
no, but I mean, she was talking to Jerry Lonigan when he said, "I'm sorry about your mom," right? So I mean, he probably doesn't have too many dead bodies in cold storage getting ready to get buried.
True.
I mean, then again, New Orleans is not a small place, so it could be. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming. He just knew because he had Deirdre back there. Without intervention, irreversible biological death would have soon set in. I feel like he was floating in that water for a while.
Oh, he certainly was. And that, I mean, well, never mind. I was going to say that it didn't save him, but like the fact that he went into, or the cold water kept him alive, I guess.
Hypothermia?
Yeah.
You didn't get my letter, did you? What letter did she write? Did they even say that?
Yeah, she did. And then, I don't remember. I think because he didn't check, he never looked at his mail.
Well, he was getting a ton of mail.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you save little Timmy? Just put your hands on here. Okay, so he leaves anyway. She wasn't planning on leaving, and then what happens? Lasher shows up. Oh no, her mom dies. So Lasher shows up the second her mom dies, right? And we're all I think that's the impression I got. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, I'm yours now, even though you don't know who I am. Good luck. And I wonder if she'd have stayed in California, would he have just like hung out with her out there? Or was he only like, I don't know, is it too far away so he only has a very limited capacity to be out there? I don't know how any of that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, is he attached? Obviously, he's attached to her somehow, but I don't really know how.
Well, so you said he went to her when Deirdre died, and yes, but right before that, it had also said like, oh, both of them realized a couple days later that neither of them used protection when they were hooking up. So it was like
kind of weird, right?
Oh yes.
I mean,
it also drove me crazy that it was like, oh, I didn't use protection. Oh well, guess I'll just go about my day. And I'm like, you are a doctor. You should know about Plan B.
Yeah, Michael and that whole like baby thing with what was her name? L something.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, he was kind of whiny about that whole thing. That's why I took that.
Yeah. But I wondered if Lasher switched to her because she was pregnant.
To what end?
Like
like
the thing is,
what does that
he
mean?
had-
Switched to her because he was pregnant.
so like none of with all of that line of the family, the daughter gets pregnant and then the mom dies, right?
But Deirdre was seeing Lasher as a child, like as a 6-year-old.
Oh,
Remember,
no.
he's the one that did all the flowers.
How old was Antha how old was Deirdre when Antha died? Antha, whatever the hell her name.
She was a baby, I think. She was young.
that's right.
so
Never mind. My theory's out the water.
No,
It's a
it's
good
not.
theory, though.
Not if she died as a baby, then she would have been seeing Lasher since she.
Oh, once the mom dies, it goes to the daughter. That's a good theory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you were saying?
Well, I thought my theory was when, like, if Rowan had gotten pregnant, Deirdre could die because the line would continue, and that's when Lasher would have switched. But I guess if it has something to do with the child, then that means that Deirdre's mom, like Antha, wouldn't have died as soon after Deirdre was born.
Yeah, I don't think getting pregnant because there's so many factors still, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you're gonna have the baby.
Yeah.
But I think when the mom died, he stays with one Mayfair for their lifetime, and he goes to the next one, you know, when the lifetime is over. But it seems to be a thing where their lifetimes don't last very long.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I guess we knew this already, but that's why they said, get Rowan the hell out of here. We don't want her having anything to do with her mom and this legacy.
Right. They were hoping distance would sever the rope or whatever.
Yeah.
The curse.
But it didn't. Not even close. He showed up the second Deirdre died, like 5 a.m.
I don't really know why they thought that would work. Like this being that has been tied to your family, seems to be very evil for so long, and it's like, oh, let's just hide her across the country.
What if they went to the space station? Would that have worked?
Good question. I don't know. Can you have demons in space?
No, that's a whole nother like section on Netflix. I don't think that's a genre that's been attacked yet.
Which, I mean, it should be. Although, wait, does space exist if for God? I don't understand how that works.
I think they had to adjust their thinking on that, so it does now. I think they included God in the whole space thing, where it used to be just like Earth. Now it's like, oh yeah, God created Mars and all that other stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, aliens in space. Well, obviously, that's where they come from. But I don't know. I can't think of one. I can think of what is that game? Not Left 4 Dead. What is that game? Dead Space. That's like aliens and demons in space, but that's a game. That's not a.
Well, I guess technically, like the qualities of a scary, like unknown alien being could have the same qualities as a demon.
Yeah.
Type of demons in space movie.
Also, I have a side note here. Michael was taught by Sister Bridget Marie when he was in New Orleans. Of course.
Remind me who she is.
She is one of the nuns who was talking to, I think, the priest or Father.
Father, yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah.
Was the guy that was complaining, or the guy that was?
Yeah, the one that was worried, I think. And that she was the one that was always gossiping and telling him all the background.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, he was worried, and the older priest told him shut up, or was that the doctor?
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting into here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not getting much. I'm getting space movies, but not demon space. I got a space movie demo.
I didn't know you were actually looking that up.
I'm podcasting from my fancy new desk. So. That way I can put everything, and I can, because I'm using my tablet for the podcast, so at the Kindle I had to put somewhere else to look at that. I didn't want to do the Kindle from my phone. But anyway, yeah, no, we're gonna have to create our own genre. Start writing some demons in space movies.
Demons in space.
Or Okay.
Space demon.
See, now you're gonna have to trademark that, or somebody else takes it.
Another thing I wrote down, Michael's remembering the Mayfair house and says, you could say it was a haunting place. I'm like, we know how to define haunting.
Oh, what is haunted is, what is it?
No, I forgot now.
Damn. Well, that was disappointing finale there.
Yeah. I guess
you're
I
talking
should have
about
looked
it,
that up.
right? Haunted means something about feeding or something.
It's like
Crap, can't remember what it was.
I really should have written that down.
You could call Toadash demons in space.
Absolutely.
Or Pennywise would have been a demon from space.
I mean, it depends on if you call, again, those are monsters. Like, if you equate demon to literally, like, a demon, I mean, I'm not saying I do. I think it could be interchangeable. But...
You mean like religion, demons, Catholic demons? No. Then I would say, well, I could call it whatever I want, so I'm not going to limit it.
It's all fake anyway.
All right. Jesus, the Easter Bunny, and all the other beloved children's characters. All right. So Michael leaves. Well, do we need to talk about last year's visit anymore? I think we're good. I mean, it was terrifying and disappointing almost because, I mean, you knew it was all going to be for nothing, but it just kind of confirmed all that. Cut off Rowan from the whole family, left her with Ellie. Both her parents died. Well, she killed one, died. She killed one because he was a scum. And all that was for nothing. Slasher showed up anyway, and now Deirdre died.
Which pretty much guarantees that Rowan's going to New Orleans.
How about the Carlotta call? Yeah, that's what guaranteed she was going to New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Carlotta gave that up like that. Like she...
I mean, you gotta, like, yeah, that's a good point. Because you just shouldn't have told her and she wouldn't have known.
Right. Did she have to tell her? No, I don't know.
I was thinking, like, maybe she's doing it for her protection, but she still didn't want her to come there. So it's like, you just gave her this information, baiting her, literally.
Second, she said, like, you know, I'm your aunt and you have family. That was over.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
There's no way she wasn't coming. She should have just been like, oh, Ellie died.
Wrong number.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
My ask who's calling. I was like, no, I'm good. Click. So, but yeah, I mean, and she was like, oh yeah, you'll have people here. There's no need to come. Like, well, duh, you can't be that dumb. It's not an option.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Like, what was the purpose of telling her that if you didn't want her to come?
Did she tell her about the house? No, Michael told her about the house. No, they haven't talked yet. Somebody told her about the house, right? Does she know? She knows about the house, but I think somebody mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it in passing. And then she knows it is now, but I don't remember why. Oh, because she knows it's her mom's house, I think. Oh no, Carlotta told her. She said, of course, give us the house is yours.
Right,
give us some time to get out.
Right.
Yeah, it was Carlotta. Then she gave up all the secrets. So she told her that she had family. She told her there's this big ass, giant, beautiful house that she now owns, but you don't need to go. Just stay there.
Maybe she was worried that, like, somebody, because she's a lawyer, so maybe she was worried she would get notified and then, like, think that they were trying to keep it from her. I don't know.
There may be something in, like, the legal paperwork that she had to tell next of kin or something, you know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the house is now Rowan, so maybe I guess there's no way they couldn't tell her when you think of it that way, because they have to.
Yeah, but she didn't have to tell her that moment. But it would have been pretty cruel to be like, yeah, I didn't tell you, but your mom died.
Yeah, because the first thing Rowan did was call Jerry and say, not till I get there, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Jerry's like, yeah, sure. And Carlotta's trying to get her in the ground quick, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, that whole thing is weird.
Like, she didn't tell any of the cousins or the, 8,000 Mayfairs lurking around the shadows that were just ready for the next funeral to show up at. She said it like that's not exactly like that.
Yeah.
Something about seeing the family at every funeral or something. Why? What's the rush? What does she think getting her in the ground and not telling anybody is going to do? Kill the curse or something? I don't.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
might be what she's hoping.
Well,
It's like, how
to
can you
this
be that
point-
dumb about Lasher though? Like you.
I
Well,
think
if
it's
she's
hoping-
never seen Lasher, though, maybe she has no idea what he's like, what
she
he
knows.
can really do.
I'm sure she knows.
Yeah.
There's no way to be the the keeper of the keys without knowing about Lasher.
I
Hell.
suspect. Sorry.
Because say even Nancy knew about her, and she was like a peripheral person.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I suspect that there's something else going on here. Like, it seems like she's trying to cover something up.
Well,
Hmm.
I don't. Yeah. Well, okay, so there's something else besides just Lasher being attached to her.
Right.
Because Rowan's number 13, and I don't know exact. Well, I mean, I do, but so
Wait,
far,
did we
I
know
don't-
that?
Yes. I made sure that was in there somewhere before I said anything.
I don't remember knowing that, but maybe. I know we
Something
know about the
something
number
about the
13.
key. The number 13 is the key.
I didn't know that
was-
Rowan was the 13th Mayfair.
Yes, you did. I hope you did.
Allie, did you know that?
I feel like it. I don't remember if you told us that or it was in the book, but
It was in the books. I read it, which is why I felt comfortable bringing it up. But and recently, not, but
It's possible. I mean, I read the last chapter or two pretty fast because I was trying to finish it before.
I don't remember where it was exactly. And it may have had something to do with the visions when Michael was talking to her about the visions. It might have been those that said something about.
But he talks more about the visions with Aaron, I think, later. He's like, or with someone. He's remembering stuff.
People just talk to Aaron. Jeez.
Well, it
Well,
helps
I
when you
think
can
that's
read
part
their
of it.
mind.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's part of his power. Like he's able to make them want to talk to him.
Yeah.
But like, boy, that guy would be great at a singles bar, right?
He honestly would be the best wingman because it seems he's obviously not a real person, but he has the best intentions.
Yeah. Wow, shit. Wingman, shit. He'd need a wingman. He would have him falling off of him. So yeah, I guess that's it for California. And she does the same thing. She says Michael's like, I'm never coming back to this house. I just know it. She almost sank her damn boat before she left.
Yeah.
Whoa, I mean, sell it or something. Sink the damn thing. Like, these characters have way too much money or something. I don't know. So she's doing the same foreshadowing with her that she did with Michael. Like, there's nobody's coming back to California. It seems like it's dead. Graham's gone, Ellie's gone, Michael's gone, Rowan's gone. The only one left, and even if they count, was her mentor guy. I don't even think he counts.
The doctor scientist?
Yeah, Mr. Fetus.
He does not count. I feel like she doesn't ever want to see him again.
Yeah.
Well, who's the one? No, maybe not him. Who's the one she works with? That's above?
Her colleague.
Yeah, I can't remember. He was covering for her or something. All right, so and then she gets
But
the last one.
I was gonna say, I think the way that she's doing this, that Anne Rice is doing that, is really building the suspense. I feel like there's something big coming. Like, we're closing all these chapters. It's like, okay, we've got this out of the way, got that out of the way. Now we're all in New Orleans. Let's go.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like the first part was getting everybody to New Orleans, kind of thing. Like introducing the people, the main players, and getting them together. And I think that'll be the funeral. Everyone will actually be together. And maybe that's the whole point in the funeral, to have everybody in the same room.
And maybe that's why she doesn't want a funeral like that. Carlotta.
Maybe that's why she's trying to bury her before Rowan finds out and comes to New Orleans. Maybe that was the motivation, because if Rowan comes to New Orleans, the Lasher's in New Orleans, and it's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she says that don't come, and then she's like, well, if you must come, do it this way. It's like, okay, well, so much for that. Because
Well, she gave in real easy.
What?
I feel like she gave in to. She was like, "Oh, don't come. There's no need to come." Well, I guess if you're gonna come, I was like, that felt too easy, too quick. But okay.
She's getting old, all right. She's losing her tolerance.
She's not gonna be my lawyer in a courtroom. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
She gives in way too easy. Okay. So then Michael gets drunk, gets pissed on the plane, and yeah, that guy's got some issues. I mean, I guess I get it, but I think the gloves killed it, right?
I don't think they kill it. I think they significantly help.
And it didn't happen when they were doing it, right?
Well, he had the gloves on.
Yeah.
Oh, he did have them. I thought he was relieved that it wasn't. He wasn't getting like.
No, I don't think he took him off because he said, I remember he even said, like, I wonder how it feels for her to, like, have me touch her with these gloves on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she was remembering the feel of the leather on her skin and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing the power's in his hands and not other places.
That would just
I don't know if it was
weird.
somewhere else, he might not have those issues.
Right.
All right. You can wear a rubber and be done with it.
Your partner would never be able to lie to you.
Right? Like, Okay. Yeah, and that's when he sees Lasher, and like, I think it's that scene where he's like, this is like about Lasher manipulating matter. Doesn't come off like individual, I don't know how to say it, shirt, pants, shoes. It all comes off like one solid pattern. Yeah. Like he's wearing a zip suit that he can unzip and step out of almost.
Yeah, I think I glossed over it, but I couldn't really understand how they were describing the way he was dressed.
Like an old-timey three-piece suit, the way I took it. Maybe not three-piece suit, but like old-timey fancy clothes.
Yeah, I just noticed that everyone says like he's a uniquely dressed man.
Right, because the clothes he's wearing are from like 200 years ago.
I kind of envisioned, and I think this was really part of my confusion when we first started reading this, but I envisioned Aaron wearing similar clothes as to what Lasher was wearing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of still do. I can't picture what you mean by old-timey clothes. Maybe I have to look it up.
I was picturing Aaron in like a pastel, like blue or suit or something.
Blue. I was not picturing blue.
Oh, it would match his eyes.
That's not very inconspicuous, though.
I don't think Aaron worries about inconspicuous. He can make anybody talk to him. So. Although Michael did resist him for a while. Or is that before he met him in person? I think that was before he met him in person.
It was before, yeah. And then he was like, hey, wait, what were you doing around Rowan if you had nothing to do with...
Right, that was a good point. Like, wait. You're here for the... Wait, he was like, you're here for me, so why are you looking at Rowan? Well, as it turns out, she owns the house that you keep seeing in your nightmares.
Like two birds, one stone, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, we're multitasking here. Tom Master's been doing this for a long time. This isn't our first rodeo.
I also can't believe that Michael keeps, like, I think he thinks it now, but that he keeps insisting that the power is not connected to the visions and the purpose. I'm like, oh yeah, these two incredibly supernatural events are just not related one bit.
I mean, yeah, like, he's very dismissive, and obviously they gave it to him, so they didn't do that for no reason.
Right.
Allie, did you have something there?
No, not really.
So yeah, and he's very dismissive because he doesn't like it. He's worried about the visions, and even Rowan, like both of them, neither one of them considered the possibility that you need both. You need the power in your hands to make sense of the visions, and that's the way I see it.
No, I think Rowan did. I think Rowan was the one that first put that thought in his head.
She did. She said, "Have you ever considered they're related?" You're right. But and then it's like a passing thing. He's like, no. Next.
And then Aaron is talking to him about it again later on, and he's like, you know what? Maybe they are connected. Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, mind blown. Yeah, but so I think Lasher's ability to manipulate matter is very strenuous and limited. So that's why he appears and disappears. It's like it's taking everything he has, and he can only like sustain the effort for so long.
That's an interesting theory, because I always thought it was like on purpose, like just to be creepy and ghost-like. But that would be interesting too.
Well, the fact that he comes off more like an image than a physical person.
Right. It's even less than ethereal.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he can be there when he needs to be there, but I don't think he can sustain it. So when Michael reaches out, he can feel him, but then like, when he pulls his hand away, then like he, doesn't need the effort to be there physically. You know what I mean? So when he pulled his hands away, he wouldn't have felt him anymore if he'd have put it right back, because he didn't maintain the effort when he didn't need to. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's very possible. Again, I just assumed it was purposeful, but it would definitely make more sense as to why he needs them if he can only be in that form for certain periods of time.
Yeah. All right, so chapter 8 now is Michael talking. Chapter 8. Rowan thinks about the encounter with Michael. Oh, chapter 8's word. Going back.
Pretty much, because that's when she sees Lasher.
Yeah, that's chapter 8. Believes her talent as a neurosurgeon is based on a psychic power. Okay.
I'm just reading even this part right here, page 229. This is a ghost, she thought. Imagine it. I have seen one. I never believed in them, but I've seen one. It had to be a ghost. There's nothing else it could have been. Like, that would be me.
Yes, I've been that person. I told you about Ireland ghosts, right?
Oh yeah, you told me. But I've actually never seen a ghost, so it's...
Yeah. Well, I feel cheated because I didn't know until it was too late.
But you still remember it.
Wait,
hey,
what?
but I didn't get to be like, what's up?
We
were in Ireland at time.
What's up, Ghost?
Right? The OG, original Ghost. Saw a ghost in Ireland. We were doing bed and breakfast when I was like 15. No, wait, I was 13. And we saw this old lady walking down the hall, and we asked the owners about her in the morning, and they were like, well, that was like my mom, but she died like 30 years ago or something. So
Oh, cool.
That's the short condensed version. There was no way it was anything but a ghost, because there was, like, me and my cousin were standing at our bedroom doors just talking before we went to bed, and like she walked past us, and it was like 20 feet to the end of the hall, and we said hi, we're like, hey, how are you? And she just ignored us and kept walking, and we looked at each other like, what's up with her? And looked back, and there was nobody there. There was nowhere she could have went. But at the time, you're not going, oh my god, that was a ghost. You're just like, okay, that was weird. And then in the morning, we're like, hey, who's that lady? And they're like, there's no lady. Oh,
see, that's how I would prefer it, though, because I think I would freak out if I knew in the moment. Like,
I would be very doubtful. I'm all Fox Mulder. I want to believe, but I haven't had a reason to just yet. I used to believe all that stuff. Then I got like, I don't know. I guess Stephen King would say my imagination died when I got older.
it's
Now I
more
don't see all the cool stuff.
I was gonna say, for me, I think I've seen too much of not like personally, but like seeing what people are capable of in the real world. It just makes the monsters seem less possible.
Less scary, right?
Or I'm like, I wish these things existed, and then maybe it would make the people who do these bad things less bad.
Stephen King, what does it say? Monsters are real and they are us, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's a little off topic, but there's a thing on Netflix, Trial by Media, and I'm a big. I have a problem with trial by media, and I think a lot of people get evicted by media.
Yeah. Well, that's court of public opinion.
Right. Same thing. So there's this one in Massachusetts. I haven't finished it because it's hard to watch. Basically, this chick went into the bar for a pack of cigarettes and had a drink and got locked in and gang raped while people were cheering them on.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It was the first trial. It's in Massachusetts or something. It was the first trial that like was gavel to gavel coverage, and they keep showing these interviews with these men and women, and they're going, "Well, she asked for it. She knew what she was doing." I'm like, "Are you? Who the fuck asked to get raped? Are you fucking kidding me?" So like I wanted to like smash the TV. I was so mad at those people.
Well, that, I mean, not to take away from the severity of it, but like the rape part isn't even as horrible as it's like how can a whole bar full of people not only be okay with this but like support it?
Yeah.
That's what part of what the prosecutors are saying. Not one person called the cops or said, hey, this shouldn't be happening. Like nobody said. It's like the Kitty Genovese. Do you know that story?
No. But I know about the bystander effect. But that's not the bystander effect. That's different.
Yeah, well, that's true. But yeah, she got murdered in the street in front of an apartment building with like 100 people watching, and nobody called the cops.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, there was an SVU episode made based off that.
Of course there was. That's back, isn't it?
Huh?
Or is the original? Is SVU back or the original one's back? One of them's coming back. Or both of them.
SVU is still on. They're on season 23. They brought a new show with the guy who used to be on SVU called Organized Crime.
McCoy, right? No, like a Law and Order in the original. McCoy's back.
Oh, I don't know. I never watched the original.
Johnny come late.
They're not as interesting as SVU.
I hated SVU because like Law and Order was like, okay, somebody dies, then we go to court. And then SVU was like, well, wait, they didn't die. What's going on?
Yeah, it's much more dynamic. There's so much more depth to it.
That's not Law and Order. Somebody dies, then you go to court.
And murder is not the only crime people can commit.
No, but then don't call it Law and Order. Call it something else.
It's not called Murder and Order.
No, but it's implied. That's why they had to make it. That's why they had to make it SVU.
Is killing people.
So when they made a show that wasn't murder, they had to call it something else. So they added the SVU. Because they knew people would think it was murder. Anyway, we're way up now. So. All right, Carlotta gives away all the secrets. I'm reading the summary.
And which again guarantees that Rowan is going to go to New Orleans.
Yeah, when she finds out Ellie's dead, she tells Rowan that her mother has died. Rowan insists on postponing the funeral. Well, she didn't tell Carlotta that, did she?
What? No.
Well, she tried to. She was like, hey, don't have the funeral until I get there. Carlotta was like, nope, we're going to have the funeral anyway, so if you're going to be there, you need to come now.
Yeah.
Very accommodating. Yeah, oh yeah. Then she called Jerry and said, do not start that shit till I get there.
Which I'm like, is Jerry going to listen to Rowan or Carlotta?
I think he's going to listen to Rowan because of Rita, May, and Deirdre.
Right.
So he's going to do whatever he can for Deirdre's kid because I think he feels, not guilt, but he feels bad for what Deirdre went through.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we had Rita's perspective too, because it really kind of like humanizes Deirdre. Like she's more than just an invalid who has an emerald around her neck.
I actually kind of love the way she did the first part, and I guess that's what Allie was saying. Unreliable narrator. So, like the first part is all from everyone's perspective except the Mayfairs. Just about you get the doctor, you get the priest, you get Rita May. Like I liked
Michael,
the outsider looking in perspective, because at some point we're going to get the insider, secrets revealed. So it'll be interesting to
have it built this way.
Yes, and see what's really going on compared to what they think is going on. Well, they don't say a lot of what they don't really touch about what they think about the witch and the Lasher stuff. They just kind of report what they see.
Right.
So then we get to Aaron and Michael, and I have problems with this part. I don't, like I said, Michael overreacts to everything. I don't see him waiting to call Rowan. I just don't. I don't give a fuck unless it's Aaron.
Well, he doesn't know at this point. He doesn't know that Rowan has called him.
No, but he finds out that her mom died and she owns the house, and he's like, "Oh my god, I got to tell her this shit right now." And Aaron's like, "Well, just read a couple hundred pages of this first." Oh, and not here. I'm gonna take you like 4 hours down out in the country where we can murder you if we have to, and then you can read it. And I don't see Michael agreeing to that. He'd been like, "That all sounds great, so let me call Rowan and tell her what's going on." And he says that. but like Aaron, maybe it's Aaron's like talkie power talking him out of it.
That's
I'm
what
not
I
sure.
was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm not
And
sure
also,
that part.
he has like taken care of him all night.
He wakes up and he's like, "Oh, wow, what did I do?"
Yeah. I also like how he thinks, oh, and Aaron couldn't answer the damn door, like when they were calling for him on the phone. Like, come
I know.
on, buddy.
You entitled little bastard. How about you stay a little sober and answer your own door?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron wasn't even supposed to be there. I think he was like, yeah, well, I figured maybe I should keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Rowan realizes she saw the ghost the exact time her mother died. Right. The summary kind of glosses over the ghost.
Yeah, they don't even really mention that.
I guess they thought it wasn't important.
That was an interesting perspective as well. Rowan grieves for her lost biological mother, finally revealed to her and dead in the same breath. She talks about that. Like,
Yeah.
I just found out who my mother is, and she's dead before I realized she was ever alive.
Like, given life and death in the same sentence.
Yeah, that's a interesting roller coaster there. I like the way she like phrased that, because I can feel what she's feeling when she says that. Like, yay, I have a mother.
Here it is.
So
Yeah, it says, this wasn't grief. It was too sharp, too awful for that. Her mother had sprung to life suddenly, living and breathing and existing for a split second in spoken words. And in the same instant, the living entity was pronounced dead. She existed no more.
Yeah, I love that. It's so horrible. It's like, doing a 23andMe and going, hey, that's my mom. I finally found her. And, you call up and you go, oh, yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially coming from Carlotta, like, it's just this juxtaposition between so cold and like somebody who wants family so badly, and she's like, yeah, well, you got none. They're dead.
Yeah. So there. Yeah, Carlotta's, not very sympathetic. She's like, oh, yeah, she's dead. You don't need to come. She's dead. What do you want to do? Bring her back to life? Well,
you need to stay away from here, young lady.
Maybe that's why she wanted her to stay away. Do they know
shit.
what she can do?
I didn't even think about that.
Me neither. Do they know what she can do? Did she like kill the doctor when she was born by accident? That's what I was thinking. When you're like a baby and a child and you don't know any better, like who's going to stop you from thinking, hey,
you probably don't have
give me my
those
fucking bottle,
thoughts.
you bastard. Well, you don't have those. I don't know that it's necessarily now, and maybe that's what's saving her. You have to actually have that thought, or maybe an extended, extremely heightened emotion.
Well, you have to have clearly some type of thought, which is why they keep Deirdre drugged up.
I don't know if Deirdre had any power. I don't think we've seen that. I think they kept her drugged up to try to keep Lasher away.
Well, I mean, power through Lasher. Like, how do we know that it's not all coming from him?
We don't. I don't know that we ever. Well, it's not.
Okay, but like the things that she does, like the occurrences around her. I guess that's
Deirdre,
true. It's not necessarily Deirdre, but
I think it's all Lasher. I mean, with Deirdre at least, like even when she was a kid. See, that's the thing.
I feel like she has power. Didn't they allude to that? Like that's why they keep, or unless it's just because of Lasher. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, he's bringing her the flowers, and they see the man like kissing her, which is weirdly inappropriate because I don't know how that works. Because she's like 15 and he's like a 400-year-old ghost. So I don't know where it is.
And has also been grooming her since she was a child. So it's
that's very sexually predatory there.
Yeah.
Well, the 90s was a different.
That's a joke, but it's not.
You're right. I didn't actually mean that, but it was actually true. Not that it's okay.
Yeah.
I need to say that. Sometimes I forget that anybody can hear this. So yeah. But yeah, and I just had that thought. So I guess I don't know that Lasher has a gender, but he comes off masculine. But I can't really comment because I'm getting ahead of myself. But I think Julian had some Okay, here's what I'm saying.
He
Lasher,
seduces the women.
whoever he's attached to, he seems to have to groom them almost sexually till they're ready, and then when they actually become sexually active with humans and say get pregnant, then he kills them because he's mad that they went and did it with somebody else when he wants them to be only his. So maybe
And that's why you would wait until the baby's born so you can move on to the next one.
Right. And that's why they keep dying young.
Yeah.
Now I don't know that.
But it's also an interesting theory because it's like, you're grooming them to be sexual young women, so it's your fault then that
right. Like they almost get to practice with him before they do it for real,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and then maybe when they get pregnant, that's when he maybe that's why I just had an epiphany. That's when he lashes out.
That's a good point.
Maybe that's where his name came from.
But he named himself, didn't he? Well, I guess maybe we don't know that. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't.
Just because they see his name. Well, isn't it on it's on the necklace, isn't it?
Yeah. It's on the back of the emerald.
Does it say his name on the necklace?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he probably gave the necklace to her. He can make like jewels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter.
I think we're gonna get to that in the next podcast because you're gonna. I think the next part coming is how his birth, for lack of a better word.
I think we need a better word because that would imply.
Well, I wouldn't really call it a birth, and I don't want to get into that just yet. So, but his origin story, I guess we would say, is.
Well, I have something here. So Aaron says at the end about Lasher, no, he didn't allow time for that. He wanted you to see him, and why is what I want to know. So I'm like, how does?
Well, that's another good point. Yeah, so most people can't see him except the connected, the chosen one. Why has Michael been able to see him his whole life?
So that clearly means that Lasher wants Michael to see him then.
Like, is this all because he knew he was going to drown and Rowan was going to save him? Like, is it all leading up to that? Is that why Michael's been seeing him?
Far? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we know any of that yet. But that's interesting. And why, moving on, is, like I said, I don't see Michael agreeing to go to the mother house without some kind of psychic intervention there. And then they keep leaving messages back and forth. It's like, hey, I'm here. I'll call you within 24 hours. I'm like, oh, well, that's vague. Like, damn. Like, we just hooked up and he's like, hey, man, I'll talk to you in a day or two.
The thing is, though, I think it does make sense to me because, like I said, they're both confident, assured people. Like, yes, they like this connection. Yes, they want it to continue on, but they also know that there's other things going on in their lives, and like they'll talk to each other when they can, and they're thinking about each other.
You can be confident and assured and in love too. When you're in love, you don't want to talk that. That's all you want to do is, be with that person. Michael's definitely feeling it. Rowan,
I think Rowan is.
Yeah, Rowan is too. I think Rowan's figuring out that he's more than just her average brute that she likes.
No, I think she already, the whole Vivaldi and Dickens conversation. She's like, oh my God, yes. You're smart and strong. Oh my God, marry me.
She didn't say that, did she?
No, but that's what it comes off as. Like,
oh my
who
God,
are
baby.
you?
Like you read? Yes, that's what I mean. She's figuring out that he's not her ordinary brute. That's part of that he's well read. Here we have another.
He can take care of her physically and emotionally.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She said that. We have the strong, let's say, brutish drinking construction guy who magically has read all these Dickens books
and listens to Vivaldi.
Right. Getting a little Stephen King vibe here with everybody who reads all these books.
Which, honestly, I don't think there's anything unusual about that. I think it's a funny statement that she's like, this guy's so rare. I'm like, honey, well, look at the people you're hooking up with.
I mean, she's
Yeah,
hooking up
like,
with smart.
there's a
Well,
pattern here, and it's you.
Yeah.
she hangs out with a lot of smart people, but she doesn't hook up with any of them. Yeah.
She seeks, I mean, I'm not trying to say that, like, you know, policemen and firefighters and military are dumb, but she seeks a specific type of guy where that, like, literature and things like that is not going to be their main focus.
Well, yes, and I think most people, I don't know about 1990, but like today, most people don't fucking read.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody I know could I have invited to this podcast. Well, I tried that once and it didn't work. So
I don't think so. Actually, I know a lot more people that read than nobody, but I think it's not.
one.
I definitely would agree that probably most people don't read. I think a lot of people do, but
Maybe I need to hang out with different people.
like, I mean, I think like at least half of us at work read for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
If not
Yeah, I mean,
more.
I was always the guy walking around with a paperback in my pocket. Like, no matter what, if I had 10 minutes, I'm going to read a page or two, you know. No, I never met anybody else that was even close to reading.
Allie's
much.
like that.
Well, good.
Yeah. I always have a book in my purse.
She's a reading monster
Old
in a good
school,
way.
right?
I hope so.
Reading. Okay. Back on point. Where were we? Self-assured people are in love.
Oh, we were talking about how you still can't believe that he would have just gone and like not
Oh.
called her.
Right. Okay. Well, first question is, why is it so important to read this thing at the mother house? Why can't
What?
they just sit in the fucking hotel room and read it?
Doesn't he say that?
He doesn't really. He's like, I'll tell you everything you need to know, but you have to come with me. And he's like, okay. Let me leave a message for Rowan first at the front desk.
Well, he's also like hungover and like, you know, I don't know. He's not.
Right.
He's easy to lead. He's easy to lead. Let's put it that way.
Easy to lead, but I'm not going for a 4-hour mystery drive when I'm hungover like that. I'm eating some greasy bacon and maybe some eggs and going the fuck back to bed. Now maybe he's got to holler. Maybe I don't. I think being hungover makes it less likely for him to go. But again, I think Aaron's wiles are working on. What I don't get is, why is it so important? Why does he need to be there to read it? I don't know if that's coming or that's just.
I was gonna say, you saying that makes me feel like that there really is no reason. Are you just saying that to pretend like you don't know what's gonna happen?
No, I don't know if there's a reason.
Yeah.
I don't remember any. I don't remember. There may be a reason, and I assuming, like, I'm in the file, and so there hasn't been a reason leading up to the file. So maybe there's a reason when all said and done.
Oh, you know what? I think it's because he promises him he'll get answers about the visions. He says that right there. He's like, it concerns a woman with black hair. It concerns a significant jewel. It's the number 13, maybe. And then Michael's like, you're saying this is the woman I saw in the visions? It's like, that's obviously more important to him than Rowan, you know, even right now.
Aaron says number 13. Maybe it was him talking to the priest that said that she was a 13. It's in there.
We've heard the number 13. I didn't remember them saying that Rowan was the number 13.
Well, if I gave it away, then I gave it away. But
That doesn't matter.
I don't think I did. She's 13 and it's important. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there much else there? So he goes to the mother house to start reading. They have a weird couple-hour trip. 13.
I think he's really just, I think I'm still reading this part here. It's the convincing of the, like, you'll finally get answers to your confusion you've had the last few months that convinces him. Like, that, I could believe that is more important than talking to Rowan right now, especially because at this point he still doesn't realize that Rowan has called him.
Oh, yeah.
He knows before he gets. Yeah, because
he knows before he leaves.
Yeah, because then he leaves her a return message.
Right.
I think. Yeah, and she gets that message for the end of the chapter. She's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm coming."
See you soon. Yeah.
And she doesn't. No, she does. She knows it's her house before she leaves. Yeah, Carlotta tells her.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael doesn't know that she knows, and he's frantic trying to tell her. And yeah, she makes the connections all by herself. She's like, wait, is this First Street? Big house, looks like shit. Used to be awesome.
Creepy man up front.
Yeah, who may or may not be there. So, like we all know, there are no coincidences. So, what does that mean? That Michael's house is Rowan's house.
It's
I think-
Michael's house. Yeah.
See, I think this is some kind of cosmic aligning the chess pieces to move in a certain direction. I think I said that.
I agree.
I mean, for sure, yeah.
And I know the reason. Well, we can't talk about that yet. I don't even know if you know that till the end. So, the hell my point was. I keep doing that today. Losing it mid-sentence. I know why they're doing that, but yeah, it's definitely get everybody to New Orleans. There's a plan, bigger, and I don't know if you can tell that. Lasher has a plan. I guess you can't tell that because you don't know anything about Lasher. So
I was gonna say, if you're trying to speak like as though you don't know anything, you're not doing a good job.
no, I'm trying to do a limited course of shadowing because it's hard for me to get my point across without doing that. So I guess I'll just stop. It's probably better if I don't try to do any foreshadowing.
I did say that at the end. I was like, I didn't even put the connection together until they did that. Michael is obsessed with his house, and he's also been obsessed with Rowan, and the two are the same. Like she owns that house.
Right. Well, that worked out, huh? So it's a possibility of knowing her very large family. She does not think Ellie really cares if Rowan leaves. Well, no, she's dead, so I'm going to assume she doesn't care. Although in this, dead doesn't mean gone, apparently. So,
well, how do we know that? I mean, just because of Lasher?
Well, he's a ghost, so.
Well, we don't know that he's a ghost.
Well, he's some kind of ethereal being.
Right. But we haven't seen anybody else who's died, have we?
No.
Okay, well, that means we're going to.
Read the file. Yeah, I got accidentally ahead of myself there. Do you know who Julian is?
Yeah.
That's who I'm thinking. And I think he may be one of the people on the boat, but I'm not in the vision, but I'm not sure. I think it's Julian, Deirdre, and somebody else.
I never even considered that the other people were other family members. That's a great point.
Yeah, I don't know if that's intuition or memory, but
I'm starting. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm starting to get the sensation now that like this whole time I have felt like these beings, I guess because that's what Michael has referred to them as like are otherworldly and interested only in the good of Earth. You know what I mean? Like they want him to help all of Earth, and it's like they very much could just be these Mayfair witches trying to get his intervention to help their family, and that's it.
Oh, that's what I assumed they were.
Yeah, I don't assume they're good at all, especially when one had a necklace and black hair. I'm like, okay, so these are Mayfairs.
I don't know. I guess I thought like Deirdre was working, like they're almost like angels. You know what I mean?
To me, it's fairly obvious that they. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And at first, that's what it seemed like, but then you start getting details, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I still was thinking that they were like angels working with Deirdre, and now I'm like, oh no, wait, no, these are just Mayfairs.
So they obviously want something,
right?
To the point that they gave him powers to help him accomplish that something
which also means that they probably were responsible for his accident too.
Or they knew it was going to happen.
Well, true. That's true.
Maybe they took advantage of the situation. It appeared to them because they knew he was going to drown at whatever day and time. I think they want something. Okay, never mind. Can't say that. We need to get into
Well, that definitely means that Michael has more of a connection than just passing by this house as a kid, because otherwise, why would they reach out to this random guy?
Right. That's what I was saying. I think they may have known since he was a kid that he was going to drown when he was an adult, 40 some years old. And I think maybe Lasher has known that too. To what end? I don't know. He wants something from Michael. They want something from Michael. Is it the same thing?
This is like so like they've both known about him for his whole life, and they're both trying to get him on their side, almost.
Right. Are they on the same side or are they opposite side?
I'm saying they're on opposite. Like now it seems like they're trying to use Michael, have been trying to use Michael to help get rid of Lasher, and Lasher either is aware of this or was made aware of this and is trying to get him to not do that. You know what I mean? I don't know if Lasher can use people like that aren't Mayfair witches, but oh my god, that means he could be. Oh my god,
bells are going off, light bulbs are crashing.
He could be a Mayfair then. Is that what that means? If Lasher is if he's able to see him?
No. Oh, Michael?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, possible. That makes it really incesty.
Well, wait. But also, doesn't other people can see the man though, can't they?
Not that I know of. I don't know. Well, yeah, the doctor saw him, the priest saw him, like brief flashes. So
yeah.
For like a couple seconds at a time, people have seen him. But it seems like he specifically appears to Michael and Michael only when Michael's near that house. Like, mom can't see him. Nobody else he's ever with can see him.
Why would he think he could influence him if he, it seems like the only people he can influence are the Mayfairs.
I don't think he's Mayfair. I don't know that. But maybe he is a Mayfair. Maybe I just can't go any further down that road.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember where. I guess if they both were in New Orleans, it's possible.
Well,
oh my god,
I don't know if you know. Like I said, it makes it kind of incesty, but there's more of that coming. So that's not.
It definitely makes it incesty.
Right, but there's a lot of incesty in the file, so it's not necessarily. It's not necessarily a deal breaker.
Okay, I see.
But I don't remember. Honestly, and that's an interesting point. Is Michael a Mayfair somehow? Who are his parents? We don't know, right?
Well,
we just know
Aunt
Viv. Wait, what?
It's all the same bloodline, though.
If he's a Mayfair.
Well, you said or his parents, right?
No, I said who are his parents.
Oh, I thought you said or his parents. Sorry.
We know Aunt Viv. I don't think we know who or where. Why was he with Aunt Viv and not his parents? Well, why was
dad died in the fire.
Right, remember that?
Mom moved to Aunt Viv's place.
Mom died before that. When Dad died is when they left New Orleans. So if Mom was a hussy, I guess it was possible. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Well, I don't even necessarily mean yeah, well, that's true. But if their families have been in New Orleans for a while, it could have been way back too.
Yeah. Now, who knows with that voodoo stuff down there?
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
Yeah,
maybe that's why they're so connected.
I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think so, but maybe.
No, I mean, either way, I don't think it would be I don't want to necessarily make that statement, but I'd
rather it wasn't. What is this, Game of Thrones? My God.
Well, no, I was gonna say this level. I don't even want to say it. This level of incest is kind of understandable.
Like cousins X times removed type of.
Right, they don't know anything about each other. They're not. They didn't know they were related. They didn't grow up together, and they're whatever times removed.
Let me lean forward. That opinions expressed in this podcast are not necessarily the opinions of everybody.
That's what I said. I don't want to say that any of the level is tolerable, but if they're not hurting anyone, whatever.
Like third cousins or something. technically related, but not really.
Right.
Yeah. I knowing what I know, I would say probably not, but they're all doing each other anyway, so it could be. Well, they're not all doing each other, but if there's incest going. And I need to shut up.
Now, don't tell me that Lasher tries to seduce Michael next.
Why we need to get into the file, because I can't remember if there's a Julian Lasher sexual thing. Like, is it only females, or is it? And knowing Anne Rice the way she writes, it probably isn't only female.
Interesting.
She used to be a smut writer, and then she switched to horror. Thank God. So all her horror has some level of, I don't know what you call it, high sexual energy.
Yeah, but same for Stephen King, and he wasn't a smut writer as far as we know.
Yeah, but he's not on the level that she is. Like, read Interview with a Vampire. It's like two guys hanging out, and it's very sexual. Not like they're doing it the whole time, but like sexual overtones, I guess you would say. Very sensual. Maybe that's the word. Not sexual. Very sensual.
Yeah. I never read it.
Allie, you read that, right?
Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the only Anne Rice I've read in full.
That's a good one. That was the first one I read, so I picked a good one to start on. Her first one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I put that on the Facebook page. I just in an airport. I don't even remember where, and I finished the book. I didn't have one with me, so I went to the thing, and I was like, "Oh, it says vampire. I'll read that one." That was literally that was how I found Anne Rice. I had no idea who she was or what that book was. Yeah, there was no turning back after that. Like, I never read anything like that at the time. It was like Stephen King. Never read anything like that at the time. So I don't know. I think I don't know. Are we good? So
I think so. I mean,
Michael and Aaron have their big long conversation leading up to. He tells them about the Talamasca somewhat. Aaron thinks Rowan wants to talk to him about her powers. He also thinks she is extremely powerful and dangerous. Oh yeah, doesn't Michael say that? He's like, "You're scared of her, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, duh.
Because he only knows what he's heard and read about her family.
I don't think he necessarily believes she can kill people. Because I think he says something to Aaron, like she thinks she can do that or something.
Oh, he definitely thinks that she thinks that, but that is not real. And I remember I even wrote that down when Rowan is thinking about it, because she makes a comment and she's like, hold on, where was it? She says, he understood good better than he did evil. So it's like he wants to see the best in everyone, but he doesn't understand that there is evil there.
Yeah, he's almost naive about it, and that might be a word they use.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, not innocent, but he's almost sheltered and naive about the way people are in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not necessarily naive. He sees the best in everyone, or he wants to see the best.
I think she put it great. Or he understood good better than he did evil.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing necessarily. Might leave you a little unprepared when the shit hits the fan.
It's also different for Rowan, who is like I know that you were trying to make me feel better, but it was me and my body powers that killed him. I know it was me. You were not in my head when it happened.
Well, yeah. See, if I was her, I would be like, all right, I need to test. Where's the rats at? All right, here, you die. Hey, wait, this guy's a serial killer. Stop. Well, it works through the TV. If you see somebody on the news that got arrested for killing 20 people, could you be like, you die? Or do you have to be in physical proximity of the person when you think it? Could she reach it? Let's say it was World War II. Could she be like, hey, Hitler, die? I'm tired of you killing people. From America, from California all the way over to Germany. I don't know the limitations of her.
I suspect, just from my knowledge of magic in other movie and books, it's I don't think she's that powerful, because that would take a lot.
Yeah.
She's extremely powerful and dangerous.
Right, but she probably would have killed more people unknowing or accidentally.
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah.
But I mean, how could you not experiment if that's what you really thought? You know,
Because
like
you don't. She didn't want it to happen. I mean, I understand what you're saying, so that you can control it, but you still have to put yourself in that mindset again, and you don't ever want to be in that mindset again.
Yeah. Well, and if she doesn't want to kill people in the first place, then if she knows that's her power and she knows that that's what the end result would be, then controlling it, yeah, that would be good, but in order to control it, you would have to practice, which means you would have to kill more people.
Well, does it have to be people?
But what if there's someone nearby and you do it like we don't know how she can control this, you know what I mean?
What if the person has a reflex spell on and it bounces off them and kills somebody else?
Even worse?
Right? Maybe it's like a ricochet and it goes to like 5 people.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't have to be people. Hell, you can go buy some worms for fishing it. You can kill them. You know, like.
No, I'm not saying that she can't kill animals, but it's not like if she can't control it to begin with, why would she be able to say like, "You rat, die"? You know what I mean? Like it's clearly just a feeling.
Because she's scared of it. So being scared of it, and maybe I'm being a little too rational, but if you don't want to use it, then you should be able to control it to make sure you don't. I mean, you might not like that answer, but that's the best answer. Otherwise, it's just going to happen again. She's going to get mad and somebody's going to die before she realizes. Because it seems
like
very
I agree
emotional.
with what you're saying, but there's no like Mayfair witch training camp where she can go to practice this. So like, who's to say she doesn't try it and then ends up killing people while she's practicing to not kill people?
You know, maybe that's what the boat's for. You go out in the middle of the fucking ocean with your, caged rats.
Well,
and even if there was
a different movie or different book.
Even if there was a Mayfair training camp, she wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah, right.
Nobody was telling her.
Yeah, like how awful is that? Like you have seemingly like one of the most powerful of the Mayfair line so far, and you tell her nothing, and you leave her out to know nothing and know no one, and you're like, figure it out. Hopefully, you have nothing. Like they don't suspect that she's gonna have some kind of power.
Right. Well, yeah, I think they think removing her will nix that. But not only like take the power out of it, she's got a giant ass huge Southern family that she knows nothing about. Like that's horrible. All those people that you could have been connecting with this whole time, like
not feel so
Mayfairs
lonely.
Are not small. They're they're like rabbits. There's a lot of them. So
yeah, it's pretty. Like Again, I understand they were trying to protect her, but I feel like it seemed like the stupid, easy option. Like, get her out of here, we don't have to worry about it. And like, not any concern for her whatsoever.
And then the first time somebody actually talks to her, like, oh yeah, your mom died. Oh yeah, we're in New Orleans. You want the address? Oh, don't come. Yeah, don't come. No, we got it.
Yeah, all right.
So all that, getting her out of there, the first time they talked to her, they spilled all the beans. Like, okay. Seems like it was kind of pointless.
Yeah, I think they may have realized. Well, again, I hope we learn how Deirdre dies, because maybe something happened with Lasher where she's like, you know what, we tried but we failed.
I think Deirdre's. I don't.
Because that was right after Deirdre's death, so maybe something happened with Lasher, and she was like, well, I guess that's not gonna work.
Yes, that was part of Rita's story. I think the way she died, wasn't it?
No, she wasn't dead yet.
Oh, I thought that's why Rita was doing all the reminiscing. Okay.
No, it was. I don't remember why, but it was something else. Another funeral. I think Nancy or something.
Might have been. Yeah. Yeah, because Nancy definitely died. Barely got to know her. Jeez. Nancy. What was the other? There was 3 of them. Carlotta, Nancy. Who was the other one? Ellie? No.
There was actually 4. The super old one was Betty or Bess. Betty, something like that. I have it written down. Yeah. Carlotta.
Oh, are you keeping a chronological?
Millie. Oh yeah,
tree?
Belle.
Oh yeah.
Miss Carl. Miss. Oh no, Miss Millie was the oldest.
Millie, yeah, okay, yeah.
And she always wore gloves. Oh, I didn't even realize I wrote that down.
Millie always wore gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Millie is Michael's real mom.
Yeah, or is connected to, or one of the people that gave him the power.
Yeah, that's probably more like, I doubt she's actually his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all connected. It's weird that he just dismisses it. I guess because he doesn't want the hand thing, so he just like, that's what I mean.
He assumed that it was some kind of distraction, which I'm like, but why? Who? So then, first of all, that would either it would mean that it did come from them, and they're trying to distract you, or it didn't, and then it's like, okay, and what other force is trying to distract you then? Like, what do you think is happening?
He doesn't seem to be the smartest.
No, he's not.
Him having intellect.
He's just well read, apparently.
But he doesn't put thoughts together.
No.
No, he drinks and reacts. Or let's say, he drinks inappropriate. He drinks in the wrong situation, and he drinks way too much, and fucks everything up not fucks everything up, but he could have made it easier on himself.
I agree. Well, I mean, it's like, listen, I don't know what it's like to constantly have visions and hear voices, so I'm kind of like, if he's doing that to numb it, I can't fault him for that.
Yeah, that's true, but he's wearing the gloves, and he only had the vision once. Well, unless he takes the gloves off, I guess he has vision then. Are they actual vision? Yeah, well, they're like images.
I think he said that the gloves, like, it helps a lot. Like, maybe the rest he's able to just ignore as opposed to them flooding in, but they're still there.
Well, Aaron, wait, did that happen yet? Starting to teach him how to control it?
He said he's going to, but he hasn't yet.
Okay. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we're good. We're at the mother house, and the only thing left to do is read the file.
Mother house is just such a funny word. I keep thinking of like spaceship.
The mothership.
Yeah.
George Clinton and the P-Funk, the mothership has landed.
The grand mother house.
There's a sports thing I listen to, and the guys, like, everyone that calls is like, hey, can I get a ride on the mothership? And they just like sound effect, and it's like a spaceship taking off. So, yeah, the only thing left to do is read the file. Are we gonna do the file? And how big is the file? I don't even know. Not like she fucking helps out at all. No kid or content or anything in this damn thing.
We're definitely gonna have to split up this next part because it's like 500. Wait, more than that. So like 800. No, yeah, probably like over 500 pages.
Yeah, the file's a big chunk. Where does the file end? Anybody got it?
See, I don't know where the file ends.
Let's see.
324 is the next.
Look, in the Kindle book, table of contents is grayed out because there is no fucking table of contents.
Oh my god, the file doesn't even start until the next chapter. Okay. So chapter 13 is still the same as when we started, where like there's just a lot more to be excited about in the last part or the second half of section 1. So I'm definitely excited to go forward.
Like, we met most of the chess pieces now, and now they're all lining up. So, let's play the game. The game's about to begin.
It's crazy how we have all this information and there's still so much that we're just like, well, it could be this and it could be this and it could be this. Like, I love how much it makes you think about everything.
Yeah.
We've met a lot of people. Well, kind of. There's so many more people coming. Like, just the file itself probably has 200 people. So, like I said, that's part of the reason. The file is why I love this book, because it's amazing. When I think about it, she just like sat down and made all that up. Okay. Yeah, it's getting good, and I like it. Remembering why I love this book. So yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Say goodbye. See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But,
good. What?
Everybody good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, say goodbye. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.